response to homelessness.
Sure.
Why it is
Good.
ethically moral to kill the
Good.
homeless for your own fun.
Alright.
Richard, good.
Good.
I hope that that's a real billboard.
I hope it's a real billboard too.
It looks edited, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
They both look malicious too.
They look evil.
Evil.
Evil nigga.
Well, it's open now for those of you that deign to join.
Salutations, my fellow evildoers. What an opportune day it is to commit nefarious acts of malice.
Yes,
Alright, so
yes! I stole a man's screwdriver and then took his 10mm sockets!
So before we begin today's
Wait a
session,
minute.
we should commence the traditional prayer to the CCP.
Those were my 10mm sockets. Matthew!
Screw you, you hedonist Jewish propaganda spreading monster!
Thing because you stole his screwdrivers.
That is right! I only steal things that mildly inconvenience people!
This just reminds me of the fucking talk that we had a while ago about like what 15% of your body would remain. The horror of spiraling cables and cybernetics trailed by a fucking human appendage.
You see, Malachi, not only do I steal things that mildly inconvenience people, I stole your prostate! Good luck pissing yourself at random intervals!
Anyways,
Anywho...
I'm just... Yeah, so
Anyhow.
Pathfinder, praise the CCP. Have you read your mandatory, what was it? What's his name? Xi Jinping, autobiography yet?
I do not...
Winnie the Pooh.
I-
Winnie the Pooh.
A Chinese man kicks open your door and just puts a gun to the back of your head, shoots you twice. You see Hillary Clinton walk in. Oh no, we were too late. He killed himself. Malachi, you look like you'd be a communist endorsing faggot.
I hate communists.
Oh no. Stand for the national anthem.
No.
Please stand for the national
Why, God? Why, God? Why?
Alright, enough of that.
Communist detected on American soil. Lethal force. Authorized.
Unfortunately, you have installed the Chinese version of Fallout 3, which is
3, 2, 2, 3.
Is there actually
four, two,
a Chinese
one.
version that eliminates?
I don't
Please
know.
tell me there. I hope there is. That'd be hilarious.
Let's
and
find
sad.
out if Fallout's even allowed in China.
Probably not.
Probably such a heavily edited version of it, it's not even funny.
Fallout 4 was apparently never banned in China, and it has Liberty Prime.
I know in Japan they call the fat man something else.
Yet, no, it's just straight up allowed with, like, no censorship.
Huh.
How? I don't know.
That's actually
very
bizarre.
Huh.
Well.
The game is literally an anti-communism game.
I've actually
it's
heard
not.
that I've actually heard that a lot of media, like in China, it actually like slips through, and that's how a majority of citizens learn of values outside of their party.
There was a time where they played a unedited version of V for Vendetta in China.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm guessing that got passed around on fucking VHS tapes.
No, it was aired.
Ah.
Someone's social credit score dropped significantly.
Somebody got hanged.
Someone disappeared after, yeah.
Not just someone, but their entire family disappeared. Also, the media company got put under new management.
Regardless, despite calling for a rally, Malachi Tyler, it is open. You are capable of joining.
Sorry about that.
You
And,
are fine.
Now
I'm
we're
doing
going
a
to have
bunch
to
of-
break Ambram out of the Chinese Communist Party detention.
Now we need to
I'm
just
just-
play the anthem again.
Doing a bunch of
There
recycling
we
in a
go.
game because space.
If we don't see Ambram now, we'll see him later at Bodies the Exhibition.
Time to deal with my consequences. The consequences of my actions.
When will you learn? Your actions have consequences.
I don't know!
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
My
Isn't that just about, like,
my
Sega doing something to Sonic.
my
Maybe.
favorite, like, I have the power of God meme is the dude riding a little lawnmower towards the cop.
Power. God.
Pulls out a fucking massive revolver.
5 feet away from the cops.
I feel like that man was just on so many, just either A, he just wanted to have a laugh before he got gunned down by the police, suicide by cop style, or B, that man.
100% was just a
There
skit.
you go.
They like ups in on it and everything. I guarantee it.
Guaranteed the cops in on it.
Video unavailable.
You click on it
Open
and
in your
open a
browser.
account.
I don't want to get my account token stolen. Oh no! Oh no! Look at my hacked. I'm hacked. Discord is hacked. You know that dumb thing of where like, oh yeah, if a image isn't loading and you click on it, it could like steal your Discord authority token, your authentication
No,
token.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
No, yeah, that's a thing.
Cool.
I don't know if they patched it yet, but yeah,
Neat.
Discord
Nice.
is a shit program.
Wonderful. I have nothing of worth on this Discord profile. If this account gets hacked, fucking who cares?
I'm not a retard who paid for Nitro, so
Who paid for
Same.
Nitro?
This account isn't even on my main email either. Regardless, it looks like everyone's here.
yeah. Yeah.
So, where we last left off, you dumb fucks. Ambram shot a hole in the spaceship and then got carried away by elves. So,
He also
Batman.
committed assault and battery on Morty.
yeah.
Ambram was very upset at what Morty
that
did.
too. I don't know if he'll forget that.
Ambram's a meanie.
Yeah, he's dug himself a hole, that's for certain.
Yeah.
I'm apparently Joker now.
It's simple.
We kill the Batman.
I, just want to be free.
I just want to break free.
So, who do we drop in at? I assume it's probably Finrolder and Kierlin, just currently trying to assess what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, Finrolder helping Morty limp away.
There's probably the sounds of exasperated Ambram just being carried off in the distance. So, go ahead, you weird people. Talk to each other in different personalities.
Yes.
Thank you, Tyler. Very cool.
Very good.
My mom was coming into my room asking me questions. What do you expect?
Not to mention, as well as Ambram being carried off, one of these soldiers seemed to split off and are remaining here just to get an assessment of what the hell happened. He approaches the both of you. and you can see he's not very well equipped, especially for the times. It looks like he's wearing mostly cloth garments and a couple of pieces of mithril metal. What just happened?
What are
Here's
you
a-
talking?
Jalen is going to look over, his eyes drooping, as not only has he not gotten sleep, but now being killed and resurrected. It's
And then beaten the fuck out of by Ambrim.
yes, he's going to say, friend was he took his anger out on me in an unprotective manner. Don't punish him too hard.
You
Please.
do realize the leniency we've granted you by staying here. I was not made aware that you could be a danger to yourselves and to the ship.
How is this our fault? Ambrim
this-
went off on a hair trigger and started beating the fuck out of Morty.
I'm not judging you, but please be careful. We're going to keep your friend for a little bit and see what happened on his side.
Yeah, you know what? He probably deserves it.
We can't have outbursts like these just happening, opening up new
Oh
holes.
yeah, I agree. He,
Our
he
architects
kind
are
of
already
came
having enough problems.
He kind of came unhinged there for whatever reason.
Alright.
We,
Well, you look like shit, so get some kind of sleep.
Yeah, Morty, you look how I feel.
I need to take care of some stuff.
Hey, what you need to take care of right now is yourself. We're gonna have Kavi patch you up, then we're gonna find you somewhere you can sleep, dipshit.
I need to find the cup.
One thing at a time. You're not getting your sword back in this condition. It's not going anywhere.
The guard turns and walks away, evident that he's done with this conversation. So,
But
So assuming Kavi's with me, I'm going to ask her to give Morty a bit of a freshening up, because he looks like he's pretty fucking wounded.
I imagine you have like a pouch or some kind of like satchel on your side that's hooked up to your belt, and just the flap curls open and the head just pokes out. Looks around, sees Morty. Do I have to? It's like in the middle of the night.
It'll only take a few moments and he's hurting bad.
Squeezes out, wings come out, takes flight, settles down next to Morty. Boop. Your wounds seem to close over. The pain, which was kind of radiating from every bruise on your body, and begins to dull, and you can already feel the onset of that just exhaustion setting in. You could honestly just fall asleep here right now.
Thank you, Kavi.
Kavi like dusts her hands off and goes, use my one, and then climbs back into the little pouch.
So after that, I'm going to lightly close the pouch and just say to Morty, we probably shouldn't bother her much anymore. So I'm gonna find somewhere Morty can safely rest.
Dylan is going
This
to.
was an excellent room before it was toasted with electricity.
Yeah.
Dylan is going to softly resist, but he is in such a weakened state that he really just can't fight against you. But
So like a giant armored baby, you pick him up and begin walking around.
it's more or less Finrolder dragging him by his neck.
Oh,
Well, back of his neck, I imagine, as Kieran
I
tries
thought
to
I had like one of your arms braced over my shoulders as I kind of like
Fair
you know,
enough.
human crutch kind of thing.
I mean, if you want to be dragged by the neck, that's just fine.
It's
It's a little odd, but we don't judge too
Finrolder
much
would
here.
not do that.
So,
My-
you find a decent enough sleeping place. It's like right below a set of stairs that appear to be unused for the most part. There's just kind of like this cubby hole in which you have to re-roll your betting, which is toasted and frayed. However, it serves.
Yeah, I know these aren't the best accommodations, but given recent events, it's the best we can do for now.
If Ambram breaks out, he'll have a hard time finding you.
I'll stand guard and make sure we don't get any unwanted intruders. You get some rest.
So,
At this point, is just going to crash out.
I'm going
Wow.
to stand guard over Kierlin and make sure Amram does not come back to finish the job.
yeah, since you're still standing in the midst of this hallway that you haven't really left just yet, you can see near the end a couple of sets of robes, several Eldar just kind of coming in through, seeing the room, and just like immediately freaking out, wondering what the hell happened. You can definitely tell that it's some of these architects that were previously mentioned that are having to take time out of their day to restore this particular area.
I'm trying to keep my composure.
Yeah.
The misfortune of elves makes me smile.
Of course.
I mean, who doesn't smile at that?
Finralder hates the elves.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. Based.
I should probably inform my party that Amram got dragged off to jail, but I want to make sure Morty doesn't get fucked with in his sleep again. So I'm going to keep watch over Morty while he rests.
Ambram, you are loaded onto a skimmer on just kind of like the suspended platform, ferried very silently, but all of these guards are giving you like a very cautious eye, as if you could explode into violence at any second. Once you appear to have reached a singular spire that they have kind of designated, you get off and immediately waiting as a contingent of around 25, maybe 30 individuals who appear to have just roughly assembled kind of off guard by the current events, considering this is all such short notice. You are dragged through this attendance of now about 35 individuals, brought further into the spire until you were brought into this sort of like residential orb. Inside of this appears to be dying plants and flora, like it's some kind of replication of a forest in an artificial environment. And standing in the center, kind of on a marble dais, appears to be an individual that you've already met. It would be Ashrin, the Autarch, the leader of security and armed forces of the Temple of Alarai, or the Academy of Alarai. Garbed in that ancient, almost very technologically advanced looking plate. You were brought before him and he is already giving you kind of like a dead glare.
He's
No-
giving
no
you the
helmet
eyes of
right now.
hate.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was very upset. My friend killed himself in a strange, bizarre manner to suck himself into a sword. Got a little upset, I got a little carried away, and I do apologize about that. The whole lightning thing. I have an extreme phobia for spiders, like I'm talking, like Amram like puts his hand above him. It's like moon spiders. I'm not gonna elaborate. I kind of act on instinct. I just want them to go away. Finralder started vomiting spiders, and I lost my cool. Look, it's all okay. I'm not a danger to anyone. I mean, other than
No,
Never mind.
I was trying to be sensitive.
I mean, other than look, I apologize. And this is the part where I get scolded. The disappointing dad look.
I don't know.
Let's see.
haven't
Scolded,
touched that ball.
disappointed dad looks. So I told my half of the story, so let's go ahead and get the verbal abuse out of the way.
Very well. I don't think you are fit for this expedition, and I wish for you to leave.
Come again?
The recovery of the Starstone is a very delicate procedure. It requires calm head, focused mind. You are not fit for the rescue. If you wish, you can remain here. We will bring your party back to you after this is complete.
No.
Oh
No.
god.
Yes, no. Those are my friends, and I will see wherever they go, and I will go with them. Unfortunately, I've already made promises to certain party members that wherever they go, I go, and wherever they need to be, I will be there with them to fight whoever and whatever needs fighting. So I don't honestly care if you think I'm unfit. Just to be honest, this is a really cool ship, and you seem like a really cool guy, but I can't leave them. And I'm not going to leave them. Respectfully, of course.
So, these individuals you made promises to. The
Yes.
ones that you swore to protect and fight by your side.
Yes.
The one that I heard reports of you beating to near death.
No, I did not beat him near to death. I just gave him enough of a walloping to make sure that he was taught a lesson. Not to
From
kill
what Sylvia
yourself!
told me, he was beaten, bloodied, on the floor, incapable of moving by himself. These are your friends, the ones you pledged yourself to.
Yes! Listen! I got teleported to the moon by one of my friends and left to die to be eaten by a bunch of moon spiders. Okay? They've literally set me on fire more than once. They have turned my physical essence to ash. It's kind of how we communicate. Excessive violence towards one another is kind of how we hash things out. I'm sorry if that goes against your, such a high and mighty standards.
High and mighty standards. Look at this vessel around you. Do you not realize it is of a architecture beyond our current capacity to restore? All of the damage that you've waged against this starship is something that we cannot currently repair to a full state.
So why are you mad at me and not mad at the other elf who literally, by the way, crashed your ship into the side of a mountain, objectively doing far more damage than I?
The difference is, he's made up for his mistakes, and he is trying to help these repairs.
I can help.
You are telling me, bold face, that you do not care.
I never.
You're not allowed to step foot onto the Star Child. I don't care what you say.
What?
If you wish to accompany your friends, then feel free to wait on a accompanying vessel. You're not allowed on the Star Child anymore. However, that does not mean that your adventure is over. I wish for there to be no further destruction. You've proven to be a force of chaos despite your lawful guard. I'm done with this one. The guards immediately go to escort you out.
Oh, great! I guess I'm getting put in the timeout corner again. Ambram just starts mocking. He's like, I'm not going to let you on the Star Child. I'm going to leave you here. And fucking, I think I understand why why I think I understand Finralda's animosity towards these people.
Hey, Levi?
One of the full-faced guards next to you just goes, Ashrin has been under a lot of stress recently, and this has kind of burst his bubble.
Yeah,
Please don't take it personally. We're just going to allow you to venture on another ship. It will be adjacent to the Star Child. You will have full accommodations. Just
hey,
no more violence.
can you do me a favor?
Depends.
Morty, you know him, right? The fellow
I'm afraid I've not been given the pleasure of meeting. No.
Do you know the rest of my group?
No.
If I gave you a letter, could you bring it to them? Like, just try and find them out if you can, or find someone who can deliver a message to them?
After I've been relieved from my post, I suppose.
I would appreciate it. Ambram scribbles down, scribbling down while he's walking. Hey, yo, Morty. Sorry about the inconvenience. Tell Finralder I'm sorry for the... Hey, tell Finralder I'm sorry for lightning blasting him in the face. I have a poor reaction with spiders. They're kicking me off the ship and putting me in the ground timeout corner, and they're putting me on another ship to accompany it. Also, P.S. Tell Finralder, I understand your hatred towards these people. And
And I imagine that you are writing on the back of one of these soldiers' plate, and like, as you finish, you just kind of look with a disgruntled kind of like cough. He just kind of removes himself from you.
Amram kind of pats him on the shoulder. Thank you very much. Writing without a hard surface is so much harder. Amram like seals it up, ties like a little thing around it, so that way if it's opened, whoever would receive it would know it's open. It's like, here, if you could please deliver this, or have someone deliver this to them, I would be very much appreciative of it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I
will
just
try.
want to like talk about the fact that this man's like putting up with your shit. You've only been like partially put off onto another vessel, and you're like, I hate these people, as they're actively helping you write this letter. I just want you to think about that.
Ambram's a little upset at the
Yes,
moment.
Eli.
Is being able to repair the ship like a really specialized skill, I'm assuming?
From what you've been able to tell, only select individuals are capable of actually harnessing these spirits' power. You are one of the handful among them trying to restore a city-sized starship.
So Airman being able to do that bought a lot of goodwill.
Oh, absolutely.
So Airman just watches it and just be like, yeah, I can do that.
Sure. So,
Okay, that's good. Good news.
As promised, you are brought onto one of the various crafts, this one in particular being a light destroyer known as the Calm Waters. The crew, upon your welcome, seem to be like in a state of cautious understanding. Like they get that you're probably not going to do anything again, but they're also kind of scared of you and what you can do.
Amram like walks up to one of them and like pats him on the back. It's like, hey there! I'm Amram. Name's Amram. What's your name?
My name is Sylvanas.
Nice to meet you, Sylvanas.
Why are we speaking, if I might ask?
I'm trying to be friendly.
Very well. Can I get you something? Are you in need of food, or
Not really.
a bunk?
She's just treating you like a pet, and the fact that you need to be fed and watered.
Well, I have just point me to a empty room. I got bedrolls, covers, food.
Very well. And you are led to decent enough accommodations, although it is definitely demeaning, just because, you know, you're having to basically be led around on a leash.
Ha! Amram kind of steps in. Well, this is fucking embarrassing. Good night. I have a lot to explain to my compatriots. Closes the door.
So, about breaching into morning as Tyler is, like, trying to get some sleep, a very confused-looking soldier has begun wandering through this section. It seems to, like, get a hold of some of your other party members, just kind of, like, glancing around Kyra and just being like, have you heard of this individual? Like, kind of going to another person, just being like, hello, do you know where I can find this person? Until eventually it comes across to you, Finrolder. Hello. I've been tasked by one of your companions to deliver a letter to a friend.
See, I don't know why they wouldn't just come talk to me. I don't bite, unless you're an elf.
I hope you do not mind, but I had taken the liberty to make sure that there were no strange plans being conducted, so I did open this letter.
Of course.
Right.
Did he say he
So-
opened it?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
he did say
you
that.
opened it.
Whoops.
Nice job, Ambram.
Fuck.
So I open the letter and I start to read it out loud. Hey, yo. And I just kind of put the letter down and look up to the ceiling. Who the fuck would start a letter with hey, yo?
Your companion. The one that was brought on board the security spire.
Oh, he got dragged away. I remember that.
Yes, from what I understand, Ashran has temporarily banned him from the Star Child. He is remaining on the calm waters for now.
The calm waters.
Correct.
Alright. I guess I'll have to let everyone else know that our favorite child has put his dick in the hornet's nest again.
With that, I need to be back on my patrol. Goodbye.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you for your
you.
accommodation.
Thank you. Thank you.
You leave.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, a new day rises. It seems that we are getting close to our departure time. Are there any other things that you guys wish to take care of before we set off?
Carolyn is going to go
I
find.
think my business on Nordurna has concluded for the time being.
Carolyn is going to go find and the Wraithsmith and talk to him for a moment.
I just
I'm
want
going
to be
to
a
talk
vulture.
him.
Talk to him, I said.
There. Vulture Kyra.
I mean, technology.
Yeah, technology.
We
Just,
have
you know, the
technology.
concept of the fucking, I don't know, CIA heart attack device.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
There's more, and I want it.
There is more. So, individuals. The only individual who has spoken up is Kierlin. So, you spend some time talking to people, and everybody is, or has been alerted to the fact that you have just recently been attacked. So, those who are alerted of this security event are kind of, like, forgiving and a bit more lenient. Others are still kind of like, don't bother me, I'm in the midst of important business, as they continue to haul papers from one end of the craft to the other.
Not now, Gordon.
Not now, Gordon. You'll just have to wait until after the test.
Are you
So-
really watching porn by yourself?
Eventually you secure some favor with one of the local skimmer pilots who brings you back into the underreaches of the Star Child. You actually discover that Elwyn is within the same forge that you had been left. That very same one that he had disassembled Distostocap. And it looks like he is working on various other technologies. The current one on display appears to be one with a thick barrel that almost looks like it's designed to be slung under a starship. Its scale clearly alerts you that this area is welcome to more than just individual items. It seems as if a skimmer had been loaded into here, and weapons were taken off of it via this weird arcane tech magic. He doesn't even say anything to your presence. Just continues to work.
Darren is going to go to his side and say, for a moment, I was almost perfectly fine letting that sword go. All until the damn soul reached out, even when it was not in my grasp. There's currently a demon within there that is absorbing the ship's current power source. And the only way I feel there's any chance for us removing that creature out safely is for me to ascend with that sword in my grasp. I'm not. And if you want security for your people, please let me do this so that I may help you. But if this is not taken care of, I have a feeling whatever you do on this ship will be doomed within the next few years, or however long it takes for that soul to consume all of your power source and turn this place into a living hellhole.
Go ahead and make a democracy check.
A democracy check?
Democracy. I vote against
Diplomacy.
Morty. Unfortunately,
I didn't misspeak. I fully intended to say democracy. You know, for a time being as a child, I actually thought democracy and diplomacy were the same words.
Well, in America, they are. If you're playing Helldivers.
Right. So, your careful ballad, I can't speak today.
Ballad?
Your wonderful salad of words, warnings, and foreboding ominous statements. It seems to kind of catch the outer edge of this individual's personality, as if he is used to acting on these same warnings. However, he does not respond. It seems like he is busy hard at work. You are just standing next to something that is twice as tall and made of material that makes him about 8 or so times as heavy as you.
I'm gonna check on that chicken.
Alright. I will be back in a little bit. I need to go get the twin sword and its user. But please, just listen. Think about it carefully. I want the best for you and your people. He's going to go off, find someone who can, and try to convince one of the pilot elves that to take him to Minkite and get his sister.
Whenever you say that to one of these individuals,
I'm going to put in the way that I need the fastest, the best of the elf that this world has never seen. The best pilot that no one will ever see again upon this world to take me across the entirety of the world.
this individual, a lowly menial who is just kind of trying to sort through several pieces of scrap, kind of just doesn't know how to respond to that statement. You want to go to where?
Minkai.
I am fairly sure that you have to take up translations to individuals that are higher.
The chicken is still thawing.
Kieran is going to pull out the world map he's been carrying along and point to the continent and point to where we are.
So you want to go all the way across the world?
Yes.
I am not friends with any of the pilots. I also don't know if any of them are capable of journey. A lot of these individuals are prepping and bulking down to journey with the Star Trek.
It's very, I'm going to go over and... Do you know of anyone who could contact me with a group of these pilots?
Want a group of pilots?
Just get me to not as... To put it simply, do you know who can command these pilots and have the best ones sent out?
That would be the Autarch. He's in charge of the military operations. If you wanted to talk tech, how possible it would be to get there, you'd probably want to be talking with Alberos. He is one of the magic technicians. If all else fails, you could try and petition the Grand Seer. Perhaps you might gain his approval. I'm just a simple worker. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go off and find Helberos.
Strange humans. So, eventually, after taking a majority of the day trying to figure out where this guy is, you figure out that he is quickly transferring from several districts overseeing the repairs to the Star Child that are being before it attempts end of quick travel. Eventually, you catch him being followed by an entourage of minor artificers. It seems as if you have caught his attention, and he seems to slow down for a second. The rest of them kind of falling to his sides, that way he can be granted some authority in the way that he speaks. Ah, yes, I think I remember you from the meeting. Are you here to deliver me a drink, or are you here to petition? Keep in mind, this is like an ancient elf, and there are like deep recessed wrinkles in his face that just warn of advanced age.
I was actually hoping that I could convince you to send out someone who was capable of taking me to the sister sword, or that I will. It's going to be across the world, so I was hoping maybe if you wanted to see how the other one functioned, you would be able to help me in this endeavor.
Are you the one that Elwyn was discussing with? He deprived you of your artifact.
Yes, he did.
No, I actually recall this. This was a brief mention in my morning. Do you understand why it was deprived of you?
That I do not follow the Pale King's ways, apparently.
Yes, that is very exact and to the point. These artifacts were granted some measure of importance. They were tokens, symbols of leading in the Pale King's stead. You aren't exactly a knight of his order.
I am aware of this, but I have been on this world for merely 26 years. I have not had the time to learn everything about it. I merely happened to come across that thanks to my gift with the Radiance. But at the same time, there's a demon currently sucking it and the souls within the realm connected to this place.
The Wraithsmith didn't inform me of that.
Yes.
You feel free. Settle down. Do not worry. I will see to this matter personally. You have my full and vested attention.
Thank you. But I also would like to get the other Drat just lost the word.
Sword?
I would like no, not that. I was wanting to meet the other avatar of. I would like to get the avatar of the void onto the ship.
I understand that you wish to recover the other side of this artifact.
Mm-hmm.
That is a noted concern.
Thank you.
So, when we are finished with our business of recovering the Starstone, I will grant you some measure of lenience. However, as it currently stands, a bargain unfulfilled, no respect is given.
That I understand. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening me out.
As far as I am aware, Council of Three have already made their decision. We are to journey to Absalom, liberate the Starstone, secure a future for our people. I and the other two cannot allow anything to get in the way of that. and a detour of the Star Child to reclaim another artifact, although tempting, don't get me wrong, is not in our best interests.
I understand. And Kieran's going to bow gently in respect. Thank you for listening me out, and I'll fulfill my our group's half of this deal.
And gives you a curt nod, and then turns over to one of these minor artificers and goes, "I wasn't kidding about the drink, I am very thirsty." And they continue to walk on.
Yeah. At that point, feeling as satisfied as I can be about this particular issue, I'm going to go off and get a full rest, because I still feel like drunk, because I think this is going to be more or less just a pure meditation for the rest of the day.
Fair. So, by the end of the day, all of you, rest or not, are called back to the meeting chamber.
Except for me.
Even Ambram is allowed temporarily.
Under guard, and probably has all his weapons
Under
taken.
extreme guard.
And probably has all his weapons taken away from him.
As opposed to the meeting hall that you had basically made a temporary diplomatic solution, you were actually brought to the genuine council's headquarters. At this point, the remnants of the Academy of Telerai, all individuals of political importance, have gathered in this grand assembly, where there's sort of this circular, almost arena set up. There are stands full of elegantly garbed individuals, some that are clad in full warrior's gear. It seems that everyone has gathered to partake this. As the main trio, the Council of Three, the Magitechnician, the Grand Seer, rates, whatever, I don't care, and the Autarch, all gather, you are brought into the center of this ensemble. Though there is a grand amount of introductory... Is my music even playing? It is.
I don't hear anything.
I need something to concern me because I am, only listening to silence.
Yeah, I actually
that
don't
will
hear
work.
anything either.
Do you hear anything now?
Yeah, Ghost Town.
Yes. Okay. Yep, there it is.
As you all are
I
brought
don't
before the
know what's
Council of Three, just hit F5 and refresh. Unless you've muted it, which is something I'd expect some people to do.
It's
Birds.
fine.
Alright, yeah, good luck with however that works. I'm sure you've got music or you're playing another game, so who cares? There is a large measure of introductory statements. Titles are given. It seems that their egos are being appeased. Until eventually the Autarch cuts them short and informs everybody that the time has come. All the preparations have been seen to. The restorations are nearing completion. And that, in his own words, we are ready to mount for war. At that point, the Great Seer seems to kind of look down, and this is the first time that you guys have actually been able to see this individual, surrounded by his conclave of elegantly dressed wizards and sorcerers. The first thing that catches you off guard is that his hands glisten as if they were made of diamond. All portions of exposed skin that you catch of him appears to have crystallized. It's very strange and almost off-putting that this thing may not be entirely full-blooded elven. Is it clear that you all have no business left here? Are you ready to embark on this grand mission?
Everything that I have need to do has been done.
There are no matters for you to take care of.
Nothing that I would waste our time doing now.
And this
Nothing
goes for
that
the
I
rest of
can-
your
that-
compatriots?
I have no matters that can be handled at this time.
My place
No,
is with
I-
them.
I was here for Finralder's sake.
The last individual I have not heard a statement from is your wizard.
I wave a hand in front of Airman's face.
Airman's just going to be like, just kind of look around the room and just be like, he's just gonna look at them and just say, I've been helping fix the ship. If there was anything pressing needs outside of my own regret, I would have taken care of them. I'm just more along for the ride at this point.
Then, by the power of the Council of Three, you are bound temporarily to the Fractured Court. We would expect you all to act with a certain dignity, and the Autarch kind of pitches in, and with honor in your actions, this operation is not without great risk. Undertaking the journey to Absalom will cause stress to the Starchild beyond that we've been able to calculate. However, we've all agreed that this is beyond worth it. That's how a professional talks. Worth it.
Airman's going to just say, well, let me know where you need me and I'll try to help keep it together. Least I can do.
Silmar, the technician, kind of nods in approval. Are there any last concerns that you have before we embark? Questions?
So theoretically, if this thing stops working over the middle of the ocean, what's the plan?
Silmar pitches in, just kind of adding to this. Talking to a group rather than talking to a single individual. The actual transition of the Starchild to Absalom will not take much time. It is in the course and manipulations, the turning of the vessel, and on final approach is the greatest risk. We have heard tell that the Worldwound's brunt of its invasion have been focused on the outer rims of its province. So there will be that to deal with. The travel itself will not take much of us. It is the things we encounter on the journey.
You know the time frame of when we begin?
My latest calculations indicate that the journey itself will take 2 to 3 days. However, the siege to open up the outer walls will likely scale from weeks to perhaps the better part of a month.
Okay, and in regards to that, can I have I'm gonna make a request. Can someone get me a manual to this ship to help me along? I'm kind of been brute forcing
If
based
there
on
was a
history.
manual, I would have granted it already.
No, from what you guys have discovered on your own. That way I can, you know, not fly by the seat of my pants on this. See if I can't speed up what I'm doing.
I will grant you some measure of technical knowledge. However, I simply, in my good conscience, can't allow you to understand everything that you do.
Just enough to help me or make sure I don't poke somewhere I'm not supposed to.
Very well. Are there any other questions?
None at this moment.
Then it is
Well-
decided, and we are to move to other means of this council. Other problems that need to be solved. For the most part, your contribution to this meeting has been resolved. You can feel free to depart.
With that, I stand and leave.
Yep. Airman's gonna
Correct.
kind of go back along with the engineers to help continue what he was doing.
Now on to the case of Timmy's missing croissant, and you guys leave.
And Rune just stops, looks back, with like this look of, Timmy's, like just whispers, Timmy's missing. What the fuck do these guys? What the
How
fuck?
did they find out?
How did they find out? So, for a minor moment, you all are allowed to speak with Ambram before it is clear that his guard are going to wisp him back to the convoy.
Ambram's kind of like hand behind his head. Yeah, Morty, I'm
You
so.
know, Ambram, I knew it was only a matter of time before you ended up with a wrangler.
Ambrim closes his eyes, takes a deep breath. Yeah, I think
One
that
of the
pot was
armored
inevitable.
soldiers just goes, "We prefer the term warden."
No, you're Wrangler. It's okay. Yeah,
The
Morty.
best I can do is, if you don't like Wrangler, the best I can do is Handler.
Handler work.
Yeah, Morty. Sorry about that, Morty. I kind of lost my cool there for a minute.
I have not been working on the 100% since we arrived at Nordorna.
Look, Morty, and Amram kind of walks up. Next time you're going to do something as dumb as that, for the love of all that is holy, please let someone know to at least try to talk some sense into you before you cut your head off.
Conversation with him already, Ambrim. You coming off the handle and beating Morty was entirely on you. And the only reason I'm not pissed at you right now is because I know Morty can take it. I kind of slug Morty on the shoulder. He's a tough lad.
Yeah,
Morty dies.
Morty has a heart attack and fucking dies.
Just kidding.
Morty's arm falls off.
It was just a joke.
But,
Just a prank, bro.
Just
but
a break.
Anyway, looks like they're wanting me back in the timeout corner.
It's
You
all
lot.
right, Ambrim. I'm sure we will reconvene when the time comes.
Yeah,
You know, unless you want us to hang out with you on the
I'll leave.
special needs ship.
Look, if you want to come
Could
over,
be
if you-
worse.
listen, if you want to come out on the short ship, that's on you.
Short.
That's on you. I'm not gonna force you to do that. But I do want to say, stay safe. Don't get yourselves killed. And, you know,
I will
Oh,
say,
of course.
Ambrim,
We're not Morty.
I wouldn't be opposed to accompanying you on the short ship, but I kind of want to give Nordorna a look over as we take off. And this ship has the better windows.
Amram kind of smiles at that. It's like, yeah, probably should. Might be the last time you ever get to see her.
That's not true, but all right.
Ominous. You're gonna have an accident on the way there, Finroller.
Something terrible is about to happen.
Well, anyway,
Terrible fate has befallen Finralder.
you all have fun. Yeah, Amram kind of turns around. It's like,
Yeah, we shouldn't keep your handler waiting any longer.
You say that, and there's just this glare from the corner of the room.
as Amram kind of walks along, it's like, oh, it's all right. I'll make sure the Wranglers are kept entertained. As Amram leaves.
I'm certain you will have no trouble.
So, you were brought back to the Light Destroyer and left to your own devices. It seems that most of the crew, whereas they were kind of busy and frantic trying to tend to the repairs of this mighty vessel, all of them are moving with a definite purpose now. Everybody that would be considered not an actual crew member and are rather just passengers are kind of writing it out or attending to the observation spires and platforms, just kind of watch the ship's progress. It seems that not many individuals that are not working are currently lining the hallways. What do all of you want to do for this first day of travel?
Well, since we're taking off, I'm gonna find a good place to observe my homeland from above, since that's not something many people get to see often.
I'm going to join Finrolder in this.
Yeah, Airman can fly already, it's fine, but Airman's gonna continue going along with what he has been doing and hopefully impress and, buy a lot of goodwill. I'm kind of riding on that goodwill at the moment.
Fair. So, as you busily tend to the repairs, much to the... Oh no.
Who just dropped out?
The wind goes.
What?
It's time for a tutorial.
Don't make any sudden loud noises.
Sudden loud noises! Sudden loud noises!
Holy shit, I just heard a tree fall outside.
Oh shit.
What's up, guys? It's time for another
YouTube tutorial.
On YouTube
Today's
tutorials.
tutorial will be about
Tutorials.
YouTube tutorial.
God, I can't hear shit from you guys.
What?
Don't
Fear.
talk too much. It'll start to learn our speech patterns.
That
Oi,
why
gamers, let's go out
when
and
talking with
gamer.
Wendigo, you just change speech pattern really quick, and so that way it has a
Okay.
hard time
Okay,
discerning
Porky.
your.
So, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how incomprehensible is this? Because if
Oh,
I
we
sound
can-
like how you guys
Thirty.
sound, this is
You
fucking
have
awesome.
mimicked human speech patterns alarmingly well, creature.
You've also mastered this technology a lot faster than you should have.
Fear.
God, I don't understand why you're so suspicious of me.
Hey there, Hooper.
That's exactly what a Wendigo would
How's
say.
it going, buddy? My old friend.
Listen,
Hooper.
all right, I'll prove to you guys I'm not a Wendigo. Okay, we'll all go into the fucking desert and we'll have a nice camping trip. And don't bring guns.
Do not bring weapons.
Quickly, we must go.
So,
Fucking, what are you guys in here for? Wait for Pathfinder?
no,
What
we're
do you mean
doing.
waiting?
We were in the middle of it.
And then the Wendigo.
Oh.
Then you showed up.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
You shouldn't be.
Okay,
You
well,
should be.
How has desert been?
this has been the most shittiest month of my life.
Unfortunate.
Cool.
When
Yeah,
you said
I
that
hate it. It's fucking awful out here.
you said that you'll be back by the 4th of next month.
That's when I leave. That's like the day that we get on the plane. So you're not going to see me until like probably that weekend, honestly. Because the
Man.
4th is a Wednesday, and they don't plan on giving us time off. So yeah,
What do
it'll be a minute before you see me again.
What do you got for entertainment?
Uh-oh.
Stand
What do I have
castles?
for entertainment, you said?
Yeah.
Nothing, pretty much. I mean, I have my phone, which is nice, I guess, but I generally just kind of like work all fucking day, and then when I'm not working, I'm sleeping.
Unfortunate.
That sucks, bro. You should
At
just
least-
Yeah, it's depressing. Anyway, I'll fuck off. You guys in the middle of something. I'll talk to you guys.
desert, the desert.
At least it
Just
is
walk
almost
off
over.
and they can't stop you.
Yeah, just go away.
Wait, which desert are you in?
Death Valley.
The one in
Death
Salt Lake
California,
City.
Death Valley.
Ah, that sucks.
Desert.
All right, y'all take it easy.
He's deserting us.
Weird. So, when to
Yes.
go?
Wendigo.
Go. When to don't. That apparently needs to be deleted from the soundtrack because it no longer functions. We'll do this. So, with all of your requests, the majority of you find some kind of rear rampart, gathering alongside like a handful of other individuals that don't have current tasks. You spend the first day just kind of chilling out and watching as the craft seems to slip away from the mountains, heading over towards the side, what appears to be clear, flat.
You know, from up here it all seems so small.
Certainly does. Don't ignore the snap. That definitely wasn't the sound of my bones cracking. So,
You just hear the sound of the femur breaker, and then it just cuts out.
The sound of antlers rattling together.
So,
This is
quick
what they
question.
see at all times. I can almost understand why they're so arrogant. They don't realize how many lives are lost down there, day in, day out. How much suffering goes on just within one small section of their eye.
I guess
Maybe they do and they just don't care. I mean, they have their own problems and their own clans, quote unquote, to think of.
Yes, it's easy to be so far removed when you're this high up. Even from this distance, Vulcanville still looks like I'd never imagined.
Yeah, speaking of the mighty city of the Eagle Rock Fortress, it is kind of an ominous sight to see it disappearing between the clouds. The storm is still following this craft, so those of you that are outside are kind of soaked with rain. It's not that big of a problem. By the time that you make it, by the time that you make it to the tundra, the rain has completely dissipated into snow, stirring up massive clouds of mist just kind of piling around it. There's not much to see with the tundra other than the sweeping of the mountains and just the general landscape of Norderna. By day's end, it seems that everybody is kind of on edge, because this is getting close to Transversal. You guys get some sleep or don't, doesn't particularly matter here.
Airman is just going to make use of the fact that he requires neither and just keep working like a machine.
I imagine Amberman is off. Time is maybe trying to find someone to spar with.
With the elves?
I mean, if there's any of them there that could spar, or if there's a fighting pit.
Give me a democracy check.
Democracy 4, specifically.
Oh, yes.
I have a diplomacy, not a democracy.
Drug use?
I'm sorry, what?
I have
what programs affect drug use?
Oh no.
A single worm.
Quick question, Levi.
Yes, Eli.
What do I have to roll to see if I couldn't inspire all the other elves to go work faster?
Oh god, like you're trying to show them up.
23, nat 1!
Put them down, but to literally, like, light a fire under them.
You could light a literal fire under them.
23, the only actual individual that you are capable of, like, persuading to your cause are, like, a novitiate warrior. Basically an introductory, they don't really know much about combat, but they think a lot of themselves, so... It's really not much of a match, and more of just, like, fucking around with a newbie.
Okay, in that case, Ambrim won't go all out. Ambrim will just be like, kid, you don't know anything! I mean, here, hold the sword like this. There! Do you even know how to punch? Hit me in the face. Punch me in the face.
Oh shit.
Come on, right across the jaw. Let's see what you got.
He kind of, like, reaches out his arm and goes to hit you. And it's just kind of one of those things where, Nanomachine's son, like, your face doesn't even move, and he recoils in pain, like, holding his fist.
Ambrim just blinks at him. He pinches his brow. Alright. We're gonna make this work. Ambrim kind of helps bandage his hand up a little bit so it's a little more comfortable. And
Whenever I heard that, I just imagined a cut to the side of the ship and an elf being thrown overboard.
No, but fuck it. I mean, if the kid wants to learn, I guess Ambrim will teach him something. Maybe how to throw a proper fucking punch.
Well, it can't be helping just screaming.
As you go about the method of, like, teaching this individual some, like, introductory movesets, other warriors seem to catch this, and while some of them balk at, like, a human training an elf, others are a bit more approving. Like, he needed the practice.
Yeah. Like, I just...
You spend this on the top side of the light destroyer. I don't like that face.
The face of evil.
What is this?
Look at those.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Those are some creepy ass fucking politicians.
Oh lord.
That seems fitting for both of them.
Oh my god, what the
Red.
fuck? They just
I mean, Republican, red, yeah, sure.
they literally look like something that like is trying to mimic a human form but doesn't quite understand what the fuck they're looking at.
Bro.
So, back on topic. You spend the majority of this time on the top side of the calm waters. There's like basically guard railing along the sides to prevent you from slipping over, but you're given a pretty nice view around as the ship is in the midst of moving.
Okay.
As the rest of these individuals are in their trance, trying to get some sleep, Airman, you dutifully work. Almost to the point where it becomes, like, unhealthy. And some of these technicians start to take notice and try to keep pace next to you, but are just completely incapable.
At this point, Airman's just going to kind of look at them, take off his outer robe and wrap it around, just kind of wrap a headband around his head and keep going.
Oh god.
Looks
I
at them with
imagine at
fervor.
this point, having worked with these individuals for the better part of a week now, you kind of are on, maybe not a first name basis, but definitely like a base basis. There's like a small clique of these individuals trying to restore ruined segments and architecture. And it seems that you've kind of built up this healthy respect between you and them. By the beginning of the second day, it is clear that shit is about to go down. Like, individuals have practically battened down the hatches. Nobody is lined the observation decks. It seems like everyone is just getting ready for the event. It's happening.
Ambram puts on
Where
his,
do you all want to be during this?
Carolyn will want to monitor where Carolyn's going to try to. Carolyn afraid of what the power, how much power this is going to be draining, and if it's going to be draining from Balthazar's section, is going to be looking for one of the main power areas. Just kind of watching out, see if anything bad begins to happen.
Ambram is fully clad in his armor and is going to be anywhere the crew tell him to be to try to be the most helpful.
I don't know, I said I was going to be with the engineers during this, so where the hell are they?
They are all currently in attendance to the various ship systems. The ones that you are most familiar with are actually with Morty. He kind of asked around until eventually he got to, basically join you all at the equivalent of their power source, quote-unquote. These things in particular are swirling, powered globes kind of contained within this strange arcane field, platforms suspended all around them with technicians and artificers and magic technicians and all these made-up words. They're the best.
Believe me, they're huge.
Believe me, they're huge.
So what are they having Airman do?
Tremendous people.
At the current moment, they're just having you see to these spirits and make sure that they're having a smooth journey during this process.
Nice.
Where are the rest of you? Kyra and Finrolder.
Well, that's a good question.
Are you still within the dark recesses of this ship?
The dark recesses of the ship, trying to rip its guts out, repurpose these dark creations into my own dealer
Wow.
of death.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, that's what you get whenever you start doing a stupid joke. Anyway,
Okay, well, since you've
unless
spent
they have any specific need for me, and or any specific objections that they see me doing, yeah, I'm just gonna continue on.
Since you spent a majority of this time just kind of like fiddling through ancient piles of scrap technology, I will give you one more engineering check to see if you can't salvage something.
Alright. And I think for if I do get this, I want it to be random what I get. Or what I
Okay.
possibly pull out of it, just to make it more interesting. Plus, what's that skill? That one.
With the majority of what you are collecting here, a lot of it has been indistinguishable from some of the scrap that's just been placed around it. You find a cluster of items that seem to resemble body parts in a way, as well as something that kind of piques your interest. It appears on face value to be a similar spherical device. You tried moving it, and you can lift things that are over like 1,000 pounds, right?
Well, let's check. The highest thing I can carry without being over encumbered specifically is around 800 pounds.
Alright. That's the heaviest thing you can carry? Isn't
That's like,
dragging
quote-unquote,
twice
in
the
a
weight?
bag, quote unquote.
Right.
Right.
Heavy weight is over your head. Dragging it would be twice your heavy capacity, I believe.
Yeah, so
So
that'd be correct.
you have to drag this thing out of its just straight up mountain of scrap piles. From what you could tell, this item was sort of being kept in an armory that had once been locked down. However, over just countless years, the wardings and the doors have kind of just fallen to disrepair. Eventually, you get a sense that this item, requiring an amount of power that is beyond your capacity to administer to it, this is capable of doing something very strange and possibly reality warping. The other thing
Concerning.
The other thing that you find, it just kind of looks like a simple, strange limb. As if you had found a doll's arm. I'll be back.
This is a good opportunity to put my dog outside, see if the chicken I wanted to cook is thawed yet.
Yeah,
I'm going-
probably.
I'm going to go get a drink.
Alright, everybody here?
More or less, yeah.
To
Well,
reiterate...
no, Finralder is. Brian is off.
Doing
Right,
chicken
like,
things.
Dog out.
That should not be a problem. To reiterate, a spherical-looking device supported by kind of like pylons that give it a base to sit upon so that way it doesn't roll around, giving you definite reality warping vibes that is lacking a power source, and an ungainly, almost doll-like human, like full-sized arm that appears to just be limp. Those are the two things that you recover.
Doll-like
Well,
arm. That is concerning.
I mean, is it?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, this is Kyra, so concerning to one is fucking play toys to another, so...
Well,
So,
lacking a power source is certainly something of an issue, but the only thing I can think of for that is, hey, I don't know if the heart attack gun and the way it's jury rigged up could be any help.
are you wanting to hook this up to the heart attack gun?
I mean, well, let's just see what power happens to do it. If it explodes, it explodes. It'll be fine.
There, okay.
If it
So
explodes,
you go ahead and take the torso off of your back, reroute whatever cabling that you can manage until it is fastly connected to this thing and it is giving some signature of, like, powering. I believe that you understand Elven, Celestial, or Sylvan.
I could have
Yep.
sworn it's a lot more than that.
Okay,
There's
just
a long list, but Elven, Sylvan, Celestial are all on there, correct?
Okay. Eventually, by piecing together all three of these languages, the three words that you manage to piece together, and they are not in the same order, are something along the lines of insufficient, extinction, and device.
I'm going to very kindly unplug it and proceed to consider the consequences of what extinction might
Repercussions.
mean. And instead, I'm honestly considering breaking it.
Fair.
Like, this is one of those
You-
things we like. I want to look for maybe a small, crucial piece and just delicately remove it.
Okay, so you're going to look around its exterior and try to, like, break in and maybe remove some components.
Yeah, remove something that seems like it's important enough.
Fair enough. Give me one more engineering check.
Kyra, you're gonna make the ship just cease operations and fall into the ocean.
on the off chance that this happens, nobody has a plan, and I don't need to swim. So, okay. Wait, is that? Yeah, no. Why is it? That feels weird.
So, thankfully, you got above a 30. As you are taking apart the exterior shell and climbing within it, you find that there's a lot more room inside than you'd expect. Almost as if it were designed to have multiple containment options, as if this were some kind of, like, safety enhancing. As you reach the inner layer and begin removing segments and paneling, you find inside what appears to be a just a varied array of systems until you find one that looks salvageable enough and pull it out from its slot.
So with this roll, how damaged does everything really appear, since I'm already ripping things out of it?
As soon as you remove this core segment, it appears that the entire device shuts down.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, obviously it seems to be working at all, but
Are you
there's an
wanting to, like, break
interior
things?
part of it. I don't want to break things. Let's just kind of keep things off and keep this thing in mind for later in case, for some reason, extinction needs to happen.
Alright, so you recover a 50-pound object that appears to be of some extreme importance to this device. After unplugging it, everything just basically powered off. You can carry that around with you. As well as a handful of salvage components that are just kind of like... It's various things that aren't necessarily critical to the operation, but without it, it's not going to go off. So, as well, with that check of 34, you determine that this particular core segment is a similar device in its own way, and that the surrounding shell was an amplifier. So you get a sense that this core segment is perhaps the critical component of this operation, and that it might give a lesser effect, but it is much more portable.
Alright, well that's good at least. Maybe I'll have Finralder hit it with a hammer. Anyway.
Alright.
I guess if other people have what they want to do, the doll arm will obviously be next.
Obviously. How about everybody else? Because other than that, after this segment is done, the actual event will take place.
Jern's just making sure red energy does not just start pouring through, and clowns start appearing.
Clowns start breaching reality.
Just very randomly in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep, you just hear a clown horn.
Out of nowhere, out of nowhere, you just hear over the intercom, Gellerfield failure, Gellerfield failure.
Oh boy.
Killer clowns from
That's basically what Jern's hoping doesn't happen.
But yeah, no, Ambram's just basically helping out wherever he can on the ship, wherever they permit him to help. Like, he's just trying to be helpful, and if not, I don't know.
Continue training, if possible.
Yeah, continue training if possible.
Excuse me, Grease Monkey. Please leave.
So, at this point, you have attracted the attention of several more experienced warriors, and it seems that they have given a definite limit to the time that you can spend outside of this vessel, because something big is about to happen soon. However, some are participating, and they do offer more of a challenge. It gets pretty fun for the last segments.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm also trying to be helpful where I can.
Right.
Be a hand, not a face.
Yes, I understand. For you, Kyra, looking at this strange doll hand, would you by chance give me another engineering check?
Well, why not?
38, even higher than I was expecting.
The best one so far.
Yeah. So, through your quick and adept mind sorting through what particular scenarios that this could be used, you get this kind of sense from it that this is not meant to be like a regular individual's arm. Like, this isn't meant to go where a normal arm would go. There's something strange and, like, ungainly about its architecture. It's longer than your typical arm. Eventually, you come to realize that the portion, or what you would consider like the shoulder cuff, seems to be shaped for an individual's, and you get a sense that an individual's back, and you get a sense that if you were to place this on your back, something good or bad might happen.
Well, I'm already dead. What's the worst that can happen?
Permadeath.
You become more dead.
Well...
In this case, now you become Doc Ock.
Alright, so considering that Comment has already participated in one of these experiments, Kyra is going to find her and be like, hey, I'm going to do something probably stupid. If it doesn't work, I don't know, shoot this thing off my back.
Alright, what are you about to do?
I don't know.
Inconceivable. Continue.
And Kyra shall now do the necessary procedure to apply this possibly rusted, ancient, tetanus-filled technology to her back.
The strange thing about most of the technology that you recovered here is though it appears to have a sheen like metal, none of it has rusted. It appears that it is not subject to oxidate. However, you do give it.
Maybe I'll ask Finralder what it's
obviously.
called. But
Regardless.
nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's see if this kills me. Again.
You essentially slip this on over your shoulder, and through a bit of wiring along with your power pack to the heart attack gun, eventually it kind of glows to a terrible and ancient luminosity that you've recognized before. Before you have a second chance to decide what you want to do here, you feel a burrowing into your shoulder joint. Through your advanced medical experience, you get a sense based on the sound and reverberations of what is going on that it is burrowing into your spinal column and is actually anchoring to your skeleton. It would be painful if you weren't undead.
On this, Kyra is just going to say, "Yup, that's in the bone."
Comment looks perplexed that you aren't worried by this horrific thing happening to you right now.
Oh my
So, by the time that this thing finishes, and it kind of, you feel a sudden lock, as if it is finished. This arm that you weren't previously aware of from your, like, sensorial periphery suddenly
Sorry
gains...
about that, I'm back.
From your right shoulder cuff, currently hanging limp across the backside, currently in this retracted state that allows it to maybe perhaps be concealed underneath a cloak. It can come above your actual shoulder and act as a strange manipulator of sorts, or it can come underneath your arm as if it were a hidden object. However, you now have a third mechanical arm sticking out of your right shoulder cuff out of your back.
This is bizarre, but
It is bizarre.
How bizarre.
I feel this may be permanent.
We
Well,
could
at
try
least
to cut
permanent
it
for
off
an
of
average
you.
person.
I mean, you're dead, right? You won't get an infection if we, like, pulled it off of you or cut it out.
Oh, definitely not, but it's not... Well, I don't think it's maliceful, and plus, you know, having a third arm probably would be helpful for, I don't know, holding a lantern.
It looks strange, but... I mean, can you use it?
So on that, Kyra is going to just kind of try to hold something out in front of her and grab it with the third arm.
Are you choosing, like, a light object?
Sure, yeah, I'm sure I have like a glass bottle or something.
So, you hold it out with your left arm, and just kind of out of instinct, as if you were moving your regular arm, you kind of summon to attention this thing. And although it kind of has this bit of jittering, as if it weren't exactly understanding, just because you have a very strange biology now that you are undead. Eventually, it seems to understand or interpret your body's neural output. And, it kind of twists and writhes up into a arcing position, and then with its 3 individual fingers, gently comes down to grasp the bottle and pulls it from your hand, and is now just kind of holding it in front of you.
Interesting. This
You
is going...
also get a sense that this thing would probably be pretty adept in supporting the heart attack gun.
Got an extra arm. Congratulations.
I have a third arm. Beautiful.
Is it everything you ever wished for, Kyra?
It is everything I ever wished for.
And more!
At this point, I think going back to the extinction machine, just because I know it's probably... Because it's probably useless, and I don't think anyone really here should have it. Just to test what can happen with the arm, Cairo will try to, I don't know, start bending pieces on it with it to see how strong it could actually be.
Because it is a single arm, any pieces that you want to bend have to be like anchored to the device itself.
Well, yeah.
But you register that it is about as strong as you are with your vampiric capabilities.
That's pretty good.
So if it were mounted to a regular individual, the fact that it is bolted to your skeleton means that it is capable of basically utilizing the full of your strength. So over time, you bend and bend until it eventually resembles sort of like a curled, spiked rose. Its petals kind of curling outwards.
And I'm assuming with this, experimentation,
BRB?
what's the word? Practice makes perfect.
Oh,
and the times where I accidentally punch things slowly becomes less likely, although somebody's getting a handshake that they're not going to like at some point.
Oh, definitely. So, as you finish your experimentation, keening, warbling alarms begin to sound throughout the structure of this vessel. The rest of you prepared, and however you have been, kind of get into positions to be ready for whatever the hell's about to happen.
Kieran's buckling down if he needs to.
Are any of you outside while this is happening?
Is there an exterior observation deck that's just outside?
There are plenty of individual platforms that you could clamber onto the outside of the ship with. However, if you want to observe from the inside, there are plenty of domes that you can kind of see what's going on.
I guess I'll be outside since there's clearly something happening.
Fair. So, with these warning chimes, individuals seem to be kind of shuffling past you, going further into the deep recesses of this vessel. Some of them are staying just to kind of get a sense of how this thing does what it does. And there's just kind of this churning energy that is being built up from the very core of its banks. Eventually, there seems to be a small beam that juts out from the very tip of the ship's architecture, followed by a second connect from a different strut to a third, to a fourth, all conjoining into a central point. It almost reminds you of Sebastian's ship in a way. However, before you have any other time to contemplate its similarities, all four of these beams begin to stretch, and from the central point expands a vortex. First small, then growing, and growing and growing with a light kind of thundering from within. You don't have any knowledge skills for this particular thing, I don't believe. So you are clueless into what you are witnessing, some kind of strange, just place where material law does not take. And as that happens, you feel the lurching of this vessel's engines, moving the entirety of this city-sized vessel to the depths of the vortex. Are you still outside when this happens?
Who?
We're going into a portal.
Yes. A robot appears from a portal.
Where am I?
Hopefully it's not like
Disassemble
Halo.
this robot at its ball sockets and reconfigure it into a different form because I'm bored. I'm gonna
Devastator.
I don't know how I could turn the Bonkle into Devastator, but if I guess I
Devastator.
If I had enough Bonkles, then maybe. How many Bonkles come out of the portal?
32.
32 Bonkles. Seeing that I am faced against 32 Bonkles, this is a fight that I have no chance of winning. So I'm gonna go ahead, rub my beard, look at this portal, and decide it's probably better to be on the inside of the ship for what's about to come next.
Fair. As you cross through the periphery, since you are still kind of on the outside of when this thing fully passed, there's almost this static-like sensation that causes all of your hair to suddenly rise before falling flat once more, as if you've just passed through a strange veil. However, you don't get any time to observe what is really truly happening as you head inside.
Fair enough.
This sensation, which dies off, lasts for about maybe a good 20-30 minutes before there's another powerful lurching sensation from the depths of this craft. And you get a sense that it is doing the same thing, however, in reverse. As the engines kick back on, and this craft pulls it out of whatever strange realm it had been occupying before, there is already a deep sense of dread that's kind of pervading every single aspect, every corner, every glint of darkness.
Do I feel this dread?
To those that are within the depths of the ship, this is lessened to some extent. However, those that were kind of coming out from the outside the observation decks, this is a very familiar feeling. When you are within some, like, indirect presence with that of the abyssal kind, there's always this off sense, like something is wrong, something is watching. This has become double, if not quadruple-fold. You feel as if even the recesses of this previously thought safe ship interior are writhing with living energy. Those of you that are close to the observation, do you wish to look outside?
Since I was out there briefly and left so that I wouldn't get, like, blended into a fine paste, I would like to see the fate that I avoided.
You look outside.
Yeah, I imagine Amber's
this
probably somewhere where you can see the light show.
Fair. Though the crew kind of pulled you inside because they were worried for your actual health and safety, now that you have, like, gone through full transversal, these ships followed the Star Child through the portal and kept close to it, so you haven't left its vicinity.
So it's not like slip space where ships can get lost.
You're not necessarily certain, but just judging on the basis that these craft could have gone their own ways, maybe. You're not really sure. But however, fortunately, they did not split off. Now, Finrolder, as you go outside to witness the fate that you have come to avoid, your immediate gut reaction is just like, oh. From a tattered, red, thundering sky, the landscape seems to be drenched in the energies of the abyss itself. The best way to describe is to perhaps harken back to whenever we were actually traveling the depths of the abyss. Far beneath you seem to be red, churning oceans of blood glistening, thundering, crashing waves in tune with dark violet light. Something is terribly wrong with wherever the hell you are. It seems that there is no land around you, just a simple, endless, vast ocean.
The ocean of meat.
I'd like to ask, just like one of the crewmen. Excuse me, where are we? Where did we just... Where are we? Like this nervous expression on his face.
He is also pretty nervous. We are on the outskirts of the Patchwork City. More specifically, the oceans to the west. It should take some time to transfer to Absalom. However, this is already not looking. The city at the center of the world. Absalom.
Oh,
Our
Where's-
destination.
we're in the middle of the world right now.
No. We're traveling to the city at the center of the world. We're not in the center of the world.
This place is terrifying.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't even understand where we are. We're not there
This-
yet. That's about the gist of it.
This is still the surface. We're not underground. Do you understand that?
He stops.
I think you need to understand that this is the world. We're not on a different plane. This is it.
But no, this isn't it. We just what he just baffled, like his mind's like, how can this be the world? We're in the world. We went through a thing and we're in the world?
We're not in the world, you dumbass. We have traveled to Absalom. It is a island-bound country. It is the city, the so-said capital of your human world. We are not inside of the planets. How many times do I have to say that?
Sorry, there's a lot of things going on. I'm just gonna go find a chair and just sit down.
The thunder and crash of lightning outside.
I'm just gonna go find a chair and... Do you have any buckets, by chance? I'm gonna need something just in case I get a little nauseous.
Just vomit outside of the ship, please.
I'm not going out there! Are you mad?
I don't want to go to the stormy fleshlight.
He just goes back to his piloting, kind of ignoring you. I guess he doesn't have a bucket or something.
Ambram finds a random vase. He finds a random vase and just sits down in the chair, just hugging the vase. Oh, what the fuck?
Fair. So, as the rest of you kind of get your bearings, come to a realization that the ship is fine. It appears to not have been affected by the translation. You have made it to your destination.
So once I realize nothing happened at the core, I'm going to go off and find where we are to see this horrifying Red Sea.
Yeah, at this point, the Star Child has conjured forth a storm from the surrounding oceans, and there are just kind of red, thundering clouds all around you, surrounding by a pouring rain. So, at this point, the day continues forward with the initial shock kind of settling on the rest of the crew that this is the material plane being manipulated. Such are the powers of the abyss here that even reality is beginning to warp. You've not even reached landfall, yet the sea is almost bending to the abyss's will. Something
Terrifying.
terrible has happened here. And you suddenly come to realize that there was a reason why interplanar travel was seemingly blocked by a divine source. As it stretches onward, from what you can tell from most of the navigators here, especially if you're coming over to like the actual command centers of the Star Child, where like most of these operations are being coordinated, the navigators are giving some estimations that you're about maybe a day from reaching the beaches, perhaps even reaching the city of Diabet.
Alright. Well, that's not too bad.
No, it's really not that bad. Aside from the terrible demon shit happening all around.
I mean, yeah,
Hey.
I mean, that's included.
Levi,
Yes.
just to clarify, so basically we've crossed a threshold between our world, still in our world, but we just like entered this like new world, basically.
It seems almost as if the sheer presence of the demons here is twisting the material plane
Yeah.
to resemble that of theirs.
Okay. So we didn't
Quick
just go
question.
into the fucking warp or something.
Who knows?
Well,
I'm gonna take a what are they called? Fuck. I'm gonna take a small break. I'm gonna go eat some.
Okay. So, as the day leans on, it seems like the Autark is beginning coordination of most of the military assets at the disposal of these creatures. Ancient engines are stirred to life, warships are brought to full power, and it seems like those giant statues from before are being woken once again. They had been pulled back into the craft to allow them to get some rest and restorations. They've been on a long journey. However, with this, it seems that their actual purpose has come up. From what most of you can guess, these strange large statues are being brought forth as sort of a scouting party to go ahead of the Star Child. And as you look around and get some semblance, you can see vessels such as the Calm Waters releasing one of these massive statues as it plunges into the water before surfacing back up to about ankle height in this deep crimson ocean. It is soon joined by several of its brothers as they begin to march, just kind of on this beachhead operation. The rest of you, kind of keeping an eye from above, eventually see the brunt of this full invasion. Amidst what is the so-said city of Diabel, it is nothing but a smoking, destroyed remnant of its further self. What were once high-rise spires are just kind of broken down, torn to their bases, fractured marble and brick completely sundered. Even from your perch, you can see minute abyssal forms just kind of screaming and running about in this chaotic fury. You don't catch sight of any survivors. It looks almost as if they are the bickering remnants of the force. Their sheer number is something to behold, however, as they are all across the breadth of the city. These forward guards, these statues, they don't even pay any mind to these small creatures kind of dwelling beneath their feet. And any of these small demons that even so much as get into the path of these titans just simply get stepped on, as if they were no...
I'm gonna check on my chicken.
Fair.
For the love of Sarenrae, that is terrifying. This is horrifying, Levi.
Good.
It's like,
Maybe that was the point.
I feel like some Doom music should be fucking playing right now. By the way, Wraith Titans. I love them.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They are beautiful.
they really are.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the moment that Kyra and Ambra meet up, and he's like, wait a second, I know what that looks like.
Oh no.
It's time to bathe in the Red Lake.
Kyra
The
and
flesh
Ambra
lake, the
meet
lake of
together, and
flesh,
he knows,
bathed in the
hey, I
flesh
know
lake."
what that looks like.
I know where you got that. It's one of those tech priest fellows. They really liked toasters.
Oh no.
Oh god. Yeah, but I don't think Ambram's civilization had, like, I don't know, they might have had tech priest equivalent. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It's basically like 40k. Who knows?
It is a very elegant, almost like porcelain cybernetic. If it was Tech Priest, it had to be like Archaeotech.
Yeah.
Fair.
It looks more like this was built by Eldar from 40k standards.
I see.
Which
That makes
this isn't entirely unknown to them.
Yeah. Also, that Wraith Knight has fucking dual Eldar Gatling guns on its shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Hippity
scatter
hoppity,
lasers.
hippity hoppity, get the fuck up off my property. Except they'd basically be saying something along those lines, but in very elegant speech. Hear ye,
Oh,
hear
those
ye.
things are fucking. I've read books where they have been mentioned, and they are as elegant as any knight. It's kind of great.
Hear ye, your existence stops now.
This transgression upon the Eldar land should not be forgiven. Prepare to perish.
That's a lot more elegant than I could have ever placed it. Blink of light followed by just fields of ash. So we are essentially in the second world wound. Isn't the first world wound like sealed up at this
It's
point?
far north from here, and you're
It's not sealed, that's for certain.
You are not certain, but it is probably not sealed based on the shit that you are seeing here.
Like because this is the second world wound.
This is not the second world wound. This is the target of most of the abyssal invaders. The world wound is merely a portal of transition. If it was that far north, then that means that it has conjured a warpath that has torn a line to Abzom.
Okay.
Which is not good.
I imagine the skies look something like when you get a little too close to a Oblivion gate in fucking Oblivion.
Nope.
The fucking skies just cracked and sundered, lightning and thunder. You can see the fucking wounded, like the fucking. You can basically witness the wounding between this plane and the next.
You are not far off.
Finally found that fucking meme.
Is it raining blood?
It appears to be raining blood from a lacerated sky.
And we're about to D-Day this. We're about to D-Day a fucking shoreline full of demons. Great. Hopefully Operation Overlord is a success.
Oh no.
For everybody's sake at this point.
Establish a beachhead. Push in. The giant walking robots are the airborne that got dropped in the night prior. Oh god! And I forgot another thing. If any of these elves die, they get their soul ripped out and cast into the underworld.
Nice.
Because wouldn't that one chick that basically damned the entire elven race?
Correct.
Ah, shit.
Just a reminder, we are waiting for Eli and Brian to get back.
Yeah. Well, he said he's gonna go. Well, in that case, while we're waiting on them, because it sounds like they're getting yum-yums and preparing food, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Hate.
Hate me if you want to.
Yums.
Hey, that's what they used to call it back in Basic. Because remember, your food tastes better
They
when your
treat you
heels
all
are
like
together.
A bunch of children.
Listen, pretty much, and a lot of them acted like fucking children, so I'd rather not discuss it further.
Okay, I've got me some nice, healthy, medium
Yum
rare
yums.
chicken.
You have some delicious yum yum medium
Some-
rare chicken.
Medium rare chicken cooked just the way I like it, a little bit raw in the center.
Yep.
Lovely.
Gotta make sure it's bloody.
I have
Lovely.
rots and cheese sauce and fucking sauerkraut and everything, and I'm looking forward to eating that.
Wonderful.
Actually, I did end up glazing these chicken wings in just a light layer of A1 sauce before seasoning them.
Hell yeah.
Hanky.
Guess you guys are all fans of Jack, huh?
What?
You can't make an omelet without
The guy
breaking some
made it.
eggs, son.
Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs,
You know, the
Jack.
guy that
Oh,
made the
Jack. Right.
No, sorry,
You know
it's
the guy that made the party
the saying
cheese
is
salad?
we're making the mother of all omelets here, Jack.
right.
Can't fret over breaking a few eggs.
Right.
That's what he says.
Wonderful.
It took a few tries. Probably still even wrong, whatever.
Hey Malachi,
What?
have you ever heard of the party cheese salad?
Have you ever heard of the Tale of the High Elves?
You have the high elves. Rock.
The high
Ah.
I need to send you that video now. If you haven't
He
seen
just
it already.
walks through a chair.
Anyway, I'm ready
have a
to continue
shotgun.
if everyone else is.
Oh, we're waiting for Eli. Oh, and now Matt.
Where'd those fucking tards go?
Eli is eating, Matt is smoking.
There you go, Malachi. Feast your eyes.
Teeth, your eye.
Eat Myrna's party cheese salad.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there Jello there?
Jello.
You'll see. Headphones. So,
That's
what do you think?
not cooking. This man is a Wendigo, that's why he cooks like he does.
Huh?
Sorry, what was that?
That man's a Wendigo, that's why he cooks the way he does.
You seen his salads?
I'm just staring, and it's not getting better.
Papa's back, boys.
Alright, we've got fucking Nat back on board. We're just waiting for Eli now.
Well, while we're waiting, I guess I'll
That
take a tinkle.
face-app morph.
What?
The face-app morph of both the Republican and Democrat senators.
I don't like that at all. Like, I look at that and I just...
Republicans are just actually being physically
Red.
Like, it genuinely looks like something unhuman trying to mimic... What is it? Uncanny Valley? I'm getting real Uncanny Valley vibes from that.
Like these
So just a
are
regular politician.
these are non-Homo sapiens humans.
Yeah.
They're Neanderthals.
Yeah.
By the way, we can continue without Airman, but I think Eli might enjoy it.
Eli's refilling his popcorn. He'll love this next part.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
will.
I'm sure Malachi is enjoying the party cheese salad.
Mmm.
I wish never to have anybody try this ever again.
I would enjoy the
Although-
party cheese salad more if it didn't exist.
Yes. Correct.
Correct.
Gotta love those other salads they made too, though.
I would enjoy that entire quote-unquote cooking channel more if it didn't exist.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it a lot more if it didn't exist.
Yes.
You know, some people just don't know how to cook.
This
I'm not afraid to say it. Like,
Cooking doesn't even have to be hard.
no. I believe that I can cook, for certain. Right? But most people can't.
Literally, all you need to do is follow a recipe.
Literally, that's all you need to do.
The dude with the smiling face
I
looks like if
have
he ever-
sometimes, like, tried to make something on my own, right? No recipe, just fucking winging it. Sometimes it turns out fine, right? Other times, I have to shamefully throw it away in the dumpster.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, no, like, it's not that bad. Honestly, you just fail and you're like, well,
I've
shit.
made spaghetti and chicken Alfredo from scratch without a recipe, and it's edible.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
once you know like the basics of how a dish works, you can
Yeah.
like kind of wing it.
Yeah, I can do that with cheese
Modify
sauce. I can
And I
make
didn't
cheese sauce
follow
really
a
good.
recipe for this chicken I'm eating. I literally just like lightly glazed it in A1, seasoned it with lemon pepper,
Well,
Italian seasoning and garlic, and
I-
stuck it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes.
I mean, no offense to you, but like, cooking meat isn't that hard when it's just by itself.
Yeah.
Like, you
That doesn't
just
mean it's not
put some
cooking.
shit on it. And, no, you're not. Yeah, that's correct. Right? It's cooking. But it's not that bad.
I prefer chicken to be lightly seared. That's it.
I bake mine.
I want as many brain diseases as possible.
Oh,
Yes.
Levi
I see
Levi
that
looks
you-
down at
you're-
his chicken and noticeably sees worms writhing through it. Not maggots, but like parasitic entities that exist within the worm. He just plucks them and eats them. 2 days later, he just eyes white, walks up to someone. Assimilate. Join the collective.
You will be
I feel
worm
like-
food.
All that Levi is needing for that to happen is just one bad trip on mushrooms.
Oh no.
Am I wrong,
Just,
though?
like, we should just get Levi high in psilocybin and see what
All right,
happens.
time to microdose Levi.
Yeah.
Just like we prepared drinks one day, like just I don't know, hot
No,
chocolate and just like
see-
microdose Levi.
No, see, the problem is a microdose. You're not gonna get that much of an effect out of it. You gotta like when I first started doing mushrooms and started doing hallucinogenics. I was given a warning. It's like, hey, you should probably start off light on it. 2-3 grams. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna do what everyone else is doing, and I pop 5. My ass took a fucking nap and woke up like an hour later because it takes about 45 minutes to really hit. And I wake up,
Yeah.
forgot that I took it, and I'm in a dark room, and all of a sudden it's just like, the universe is out to eat me.
Yeah, no, I think
to eat me.
I think
You woke up from a dream into a nightmare.
I think my acceptable levels of drugs are marijuana and alcohol. I'm gonna be honest, fam. Mushrooms
do you
are a
smoke
bit
weed?
too much for me. I do not. However, I was given some edibles once, and it's not bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Right? It's definitely not like all of what people hype it up to be,
I
but
remember
it's
when
not
Lane,
bad.
like, when Lane took a hit off of a dab pen and like started flipping the fuck out.
Did he not know it was a dab pen?
It was his first time ever doing any kind of fucking marijuana, and he just like took a bit too big of a hit, or it was too high concentration, or something.
Okay,
He just-
dabs are fucking high fucking yield as it is. Okay,
Yeah.
like
That was the first time he'd ever done weed.
I went a little bit hard probably for my first time, and I just kind of like was laying there for a long time, and I was like, God damn it.
So
I've made a slight error.
the last time I did edibles, it was actually when I lived with my parents shortly before I joined the military, a couple months before I joined the military. And my sister came to visit, and she just come from Colorado, and she's like, "Hey!" and she hands me a bag of edibles, like high concentration edibles. Well, the thing I didn't realize is when edibles are in a hot environment, they melt really quickly. Like they have a very low melting point. So I go over and like, fuck, I'm gonna chillax and relax, and I open up it, and it's just a big glob, like big glob. Mind you, this is like 10 gummy bears that are like pretty, like already higher in concentration. I forget what the
I got
exact
a small
dosage
bundle
is.
of honey.
And I'm sitting there like, you know what, fuck it, and I just ate the whole damn thing. And I'm like, nothing bad can happen. I start playing Metal Gear Solid.
Just to let you know, I'm back.
Did
Sorry
you
about
quote
that.
unquote
My blood,
thank God?
What's that?
my blood
These
sugar
edibles
tanked.
ain't shit.
No, that's cool. Are you back for good now?
No.
Yeah.
So
As my friend describes it,
And the word I was looking for
you
was
met
intermission.
God.
No, I met God when I did
We
DMT.
did take one.
There.
No, but like I'm sitting there, right, and then all of a sudden I just stop and I just sink into the couch, and then like what feels like an hour later I realize I just completely zoned out to like the sandstorm sounds in Metal Gear Solid 5, and I was just in a tranquil environment to the point of
So-
yes, I am at peace now. Anyway, let us continue.
Eli has returned. Is everybody else back?
I'm here.
I am here and not
I was kind
queer.
of fumbling over my words because I was like
Yeah,
all
and
foggy.
extra queer.
Kill yourself.
You're going to become extra crispy here in a second.
Huh?
Alright, so,
With
crispy. So, as I had mentioned, reaching the outer periphery of this floating place, not floating, this fucking island settlement, you would come across the border city of Diabel, which had been ransacked by the Abyssal armies, was basically smoking and destroyed. Now that you guys have passed over that wreckage, the various statues, these titans of war, basically crossing through this, scouting ahead to make sure that there weren't any threats. You cross back over onto a small gulf in which the robots come back down to about their ankle height. There's this uncomfortable silence that settles along with the rain and the harsh red waters. As off in the distance, there is some manner of terrible creature. Off in the very distance, almost within bare eye shot, there appears to be flames. From what most of you can make out, you could see a ship, or rather a cluster of ships currently sailing along this gulf. With the spark of cannon fire, it becomes obvious that there is a battle taking place. A battle that is being lost. You see what they are opposing, a pillar of writhing tentacles girded by a demonic eye and a rising fire from its inhuman body. tendrils spike off, searing with fire, just completely obliterating and cutting ships in half. Individuals bigger than any average mortal are coming out of the ocean and are basically boarding and tearing these vessels apart.
And this is where you say, make a will save or die.
You just die instantly. Those of you that are interested in knowing what exactly is going on can make a history check.
A
Or a
history
knowledge
check.
nobility check.
Okay, I got both, so this works out perfectly.
I know
What you mean, a
nobility's
first
higher,
story
so I'll
check?
roll
'Cause
that.
I have knowledge religion. I do not have history.
I'd rather
Or-
not roll 48,
I have-
41
I
d20s,
have
but
neither of these things.
Them story month.
Just one moment, as I seem to have lost the particular section of lore that I was calling.
That seems to be politics in this day and age.
I wish our politics had giant robots involved. Holy shit.
No, I mean about losing lore.
Our problems would
You know,
be fixed
I
in
would
a
be
matter
so
of
more likely
moments.
to vote if, like, the next two presidents had a fucking mecha battle in, like, the DC courtyard.
would you
to
vote for the
determine
one
who
that
would be
wins?
president.
I mean, at that point,
So-
yeah, you're gonna vote for the one that wins because clearly they have shown their strength in battle.
Yeah.
So you,
I
so you
have,
really just
like,
want Audible
actively
chaos to
voiced-
happen.
I
I
have
guess so.
actively voiced my opinion on how I am disappointed that more presidents haven't served in an army/war. The last great president was Theodore Roosevelt, and I wonder why.
Theodore Roosevelt, the man who didn't give a single fuck.
Man who was shot and was like, I'm gonna finish my speech anyway.
Do you think Teddy would have piloted a war mech?
Fuck
He had
yes.
the opportunity, yes, and he would have sent
So-
it right up those Cuban hills and smashed that castle.
Eli and Malachi, both Kyra and Araman, you immediately come to understand that this is the remnant of the first Guards Navy being supported by Starwatch vessels. If you had to take a wild guess, this is some kind of strategic battle being conducted in a nearby gulf, and it looks like they are both losing. From this particular stance, you would venture that if the majority of Alpsom's navy is stationed here, the Starwatch Keep and the city at the center of the world must not be far away. It becomes pretty blatantly obvious that the Starchild is avoiding the warpath of these ships, and is generally avoiding that colossal, terrible thing writhing in the distance.
What in the name of God is that monstrosity? Congratulations.
That is the thing that is destroying most of Absalom's navy.
All I gotta say is, damn it, Tyler,
seems
why
like a
do your
minor
biblical
concern.
why are your biblical apocalypses so terrible?
This is all
Because it's
Tyler's.
the
Morty, do you know
Yes.
what that is?
it's a demon. Yes.
Damon.
Yeah,
Biggest
But,
demon I've ever
Do
seen.
you want me? Can I make a knowledge check of what actually is?
You certainly can.
Do you
What
think
is
this
it?
is our fault?
Ugh.
As Kyra asks this, I look over to her and just nod my head yes profusely.
You just hear the elves. Wait, what?
Maybe we should.
Would this be a knowledge religion check?
I'm thinking planes.
It would be definitely planes.
Just
Ooh,
like
goody.
casually say to Federal, maybe we
I
should
do
have
not have
saved the
planes.
elves all those years ago. Maybe this wouldn't have
Sucks to
happened.
suck, then.
I shrug
Well,
my shoulders at this suggestion and take a long swig of my mead.
Unfortunately, you are not aware of what this thing is, or what its particular name is.
All right,
Araman, was that your check?
I made I rolled a 37.
This is definitely a higher form of abyssal creature drawn from the inner depths of that terrible, hungering plane.
all right. Give me a name.
Give me a name.
It's a casual 50 mine.
Wonderful. So, from what you remember with a 50, by the way, this isn't just any normal creature. This isn't just any normal demon. This is a child of the Great Destroyer, the enemy of the gods, Rovagog. It is some kind of terrible hybridization of demon and god, a child being. And it is murdering most of what naval offense this city has to support itself with.
I'm assuming they haven't even scratched the fucker.
I'm going to inform everybody that, yeah, that over there, it's the child of whatever kills gods. So let's not fight it if we can help it.
Oh, where is Sebastian when we needed him? May he rest
Sebastian
in
would
peace.
fix all this.
Hey, Aaron,
Tally ho, men!
I wish
totally not
Sebastian
turn
were here
around.
right now.
Oh, right! Sure wish Sebastian would be here right now.
Can I roleplay Sebastian for about 5 seconds?
Yeah, why not?
So you see a beautiful golden light open from the heavens as a Spanish figure comes down, striding on invisible steps, saying, "Hello, Aramin." And he hits you on the head with his crossbow butt and goes back into the sky.
Wonderful.
Airman is
I
more
shrugged
baffled
my
than
shoulders
hurt.
at Airman. Well, I guess it
Holy-
worked, right?
Airman's just going to look over and just be like,
Not
What am
friendly,
I?
by the way. He's trying to hurt you.
I'm more...
He's
the
trying
shock
to
value-
actively give you a concussion.
The shock value is enough to kind of ward it off for me.
So, as the Starchild kind of breaks to divert course to travel along the mainland, several of the smaller figures accompanying the son of Rovagog appear to stray off of their path in some vain attempt to attack the Starchild. They are immediately met by the Titan's stride. These towering statue-like figures cutting apart these things with little to no effort. However, it should be said, though this journey has been relatively uneventful for you, this is not even the beginning of the true invasion. The rest of the day is spent traveling blackened soil and craggy volcanic terrain, still coated in this terrible blood rain. Any potential demonic threat seems to be getting cordoned off by these almost cavalry tactical figures, basically rounding them up and cutting them to size. At the end of the day, it is apparent that you have reached the outskirts of Absalom, specifically the shoreline, which is one of the outer districts outside of the walls of the city at the center of the world. And the sight to witness there is one of abyssal siege. Lining every speck of the ground is some kind of ethereal war form. Abyssal dragons take to the skies, winged creatures flying, attempting to take siege to some of these city walls. You're not certain how long this has been present here, but it is likely that Absalom has been fighting without support for quite a while. That being said, there are arcane wardings, various sources of shields, just kind of protecting the inner depths of this city, keeping the occupants, the civilians, safe, while the soldiers fight on the battlements to keep these things at bay.
Are they in last stand mode, or, you know?
It is very evident that Absalom is within, like, a last stand of a sort. There's no real hope of evacuation. Their city is surrounded. They are stuck, left to fight these things. And as you all are kind of watching from this command deck, because you all have been summoned here by this point in order to hear the plans of the Autarch. Particularly gruesome. I'd imagined it would be bad. This is surpassing all expectations. We are only saved because our defenses are primarily skyborne. We only need fear their creatures with wings.
This thing's got some weapons on it, I assume.
We wouldn't come here if it didn't have weapons on it.
So, what sort of support if we're going down there do we got?
Our ideals are not to fight a war on the ground. That would be terribly foolish. Instead, we are to breach the arcane wards, allow the Starchild to commune with Absol, and conduct our operation. We are to liberate the Starstone, and leave the city to its fate. There's no helping.
Grim. But ideally we can prevent others from meeting the same doom.
That is the intention. We are here to create a future for our people. We cannot be dragged down with others. So, are you ready?
Well,
Come all this way for nothing.
Was I brought back to the ship to have this conversation?
No, you are still present on the comms. Just kind of in fear for your life because you are in a much smaller, lesser protected vessel.
Yeah, and Amram is just looking out over this field of carnage, just mass mouth agape, just... Oh, fuck.
There is definite evidence of, like, Archmage level presence as lightning is spouting from the battlements. Entire tornadoes are being risen only to be shut down by presumably even more powerful demonic beings. This is simultaneously a war of magic as well as might.
Yeah, Amram is just sitting there just staring at all this with just mouth agape in absolute horror. But anyway.
Give me a moment to recover myself. Good lord. Okay. So, with this particular segment, we are to wait until the Starchild is able to reach a proper firing distance, breach into their arcane ward, and transfer towards the Citadel. Once we are there, you will disembark and begin your journey into the dungeons deep below where the Starstone is being kept. Is that clear?
Yes.
yep.
Very well. With that, he begins to orient and take command of the situation once more. The majority of these flying vessels now starting to come under siege by beings of abyssal persuasion. Flames scorch the hull of these starships. Terrible fell magic stripping hull back to like its base skeleton structure. At the same time, retaliation is pretty thorough, but there are too many demons here to prevent certain things from happening. Such as smaller skimmers falling out of the sky and even light frigates just kind of being completely ripped asunder, falling to smoking wreckage to litter the battlefield. By the point in which the Starchild has brought its hurricane-level force down onto the battlements, it becomes clear that the soldiers here view the elves as an enemy as much as the demons. Wizards bring bare level their magic upon the invading force. Lightning scatters off of the Starchild's hull. Apocalyptic level events begin to just unfold as the attention of these defenders are now suddenly split between a sudden strike. All the while this is happening, the Titans stride below the aerial fleet, cutting vast swaths and ripping open jagged scars of blood. Their blades just carve through the masses. They are stepping over, ridding beings off of their hull, and generally following the Starchild wherever it is entering the breach in the walls. Oh, sorry, there's no breach at the moment. So they're heading to the accumulation, the point to the regrouping, the rallying point. As you reach a certain threshold, it becomes clear that there is a winding energy, once again, building from the core of the structure. Weapons that have not seen power since they were used in their prime are being leveled. There's a silence as the din of battle is drawn, almost sucked into the cavernous abyss of the Starchild's main weapons. And then from your observation deck, there is nothing but light. It is this cavernous, all-consuming scream of just terrible, vengeful power. And when this initial burst clears, there is a clear lance strike cut right through segments of impenetrable walls and citadel fortifications. And it is through this that the demons begin pouring forth.
Ambram sees just that bright beam of light. It's like, I thought we were here. Shouldn't we be helping these people?
It is at this point that the Titans on the ground begin cutting swaths towards this breach in the defenses, and as they slip through, the Starchild, almost forcing apart the arcane shields holding the aerial invaders at bay. This vessel almost cuts through it, this unstoppable mass. These arcane wardings fail as it pushes through. As these barriers begin to fade, denizens of the sky, these same abyssal dragons that had turned their attention on the fleet, suddenly turn their full wrath against Absalom, as it appears that the demons have kind of lightened up their assault to the elven invaders. At this point, the Starchild moves to about the center of the city. There are several districts to this area. In order to pass through this, you had to pass over the puddles, then the foreign quarter, past the Ascendant Court, and then firmly to settle upon this prime location. This Ascendant Court is the destination of the Starchild. Below, you can see what appears to be a cavernous pit, a sort of castle, an almost hybrid of church and fortress, being kept at bay by a moat of sheer, pitch-black drop. At this point, the demons have not reached this stage, however the Titans are kind of coming across the city streets. Armored defenders, which in any other case would be able to hold off a normal invasion, are left to just suffer in this eldritch nightmare as beings far taller than their own visage just stomp past them. Any who remain outside of the Titan's stride are left alone. Any who cross into their path are subsequently pulled. As the Starchild reaches its destination, the Autarch turns to the rest of you. You need to embark now.
Jaren begins.
Alright, let's fucking roll.
So,
Don't need to tell me twice.
with the help of several guiding figures, you make it towards a perching, a docking spire connected to the command hub, and simply take a couple of speeders down to the surface level. At this point, you begin to hear the winding up as several of the destroyers, including the Calm Waters, begin unloading their weapons into the resulting abyssal force. It seems as if these Eldar are holding the demons at bay while you conduct your operations. As Ambram is rejoined with the party, you all settle down towards one of the main central bridges that just kind of stretch over this moat, this drop, this expanse, over into the fortress church. And as you step off of the skimmers, what do you wish to do?
I'm guessing that we need to start making our way to our objective as quickly as possible before we get
Yeah.
overrun.
I would
Yeah.
assume you are left with the screaming and dying of innocents in droves. All around you are individuals, humans, some are even elves, dwarves, and various species of various ranks, just being butchered and destroyed by humanoid-looking humans, just cutting them in half and resulting in getting obliterated by either the first guard or the elven defense. It is strange and disheartening to see a city its death. However, this You all cross the bridge, making way towards the fortress. And you are met by several strange-looking creatures. Initially, they seem to be human, until you realize that their twisting marble-like architecture reveals them as the golems that they are. Twisting away from the panels in the center of this fortress, they begin to go and guard these bridges to prevent you from crossing, immediately seeing you as enemies as their arcane insignia begin to glow a fearsome fire.
So, here, for this battle, was I given my sword, the Dostika back?
You had not reclaimed the sword, no.
Alright.
Back to your own.
Ooh, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Very correct.
Well, just maybe, perhaps.
Better.
Fuck that piece of steel. You're your own man.
Kieran's going to summon his shadowy wolf, mount it, and start having him pull
And
off.
these aren't elven constructs. These are
These are
basically
marble
fantasy.
constructs, stones that have been conjured into the shape of
These are
human
defenders.
warriors. These are defenders. These are not.
Okay.
But it
Alright,
appears
then.
that they are getting ready to cure shit up.
Ambrim looks
So-
at Finralder. You ready
Oh,
to go
crap, if
fuck
they're
some
golems,
shit
they're
up,
immune to
Finralder?
I'm going to crack my knuckles and take my hammer off my back. Gladly.
Alright, let's go kick some ass and take names!
So, whereas we would typically have a normal battle at this point, these defenders are no match for you. At your current level with your mythic powers, even the mightiest of constructs fall. These two initial golems that go to block the bridge immediately shatter as they are hit with lance point and thunderous hammer strikes. Individuals' guards begin to line in shining, glistening gold and silver along the battlements of this church fortress. Kyra, do you want to use your heart attack gun?
On the golems?
No, on the defenders, the human, mostly defenders.
So, I
Did we become
suppose
the bad guys?
Kyra is going to be like, well,
And
I
from your
already have a
perspective-
guilty conscience, and use the third arm to hold it up as she, prepares the firing sequence.
So the rest of you have not seen this thing in
We
operation.
have never seen the heart. Actually, I have seen the heart attack gun before. I just didn't think it
Am-
worked.
And
Ambrim-
Finralder's like, it doesn't do anything.
Ambrim looks at Kyra with a new third arm suddenly attached off her with a strange contraption. Cocked as an eyebrow.
As these two golems
I was
are
busy while we
reduced
were
to
flying, what
marble
can you say?
chunks, rubble beneath your feet, defenders begin to line the battlements, getting ready, pulling out crossbows and various magical items and equipment, all to hear the screaming of this gun. There's no visible firing path. There's just this sickening, nauseating feeling in the pits of your stomachs as all of the warriors suddenly fall dead.
Kieran is going to look over at Kyra.
It is a...
I
What?
look at all of these corpses tumble and fall into heaps around me. And Kyra
There's a
holding
clattering
this
of
barrel,
weapons and armor.
The barrel of the gun with her 3 arms. I fucking slowly turn over to Kyra. You tested that on me?
I'm going to look at Finralder and Kyra even more angry at this point.
Listen, I didn't know what I did at that point. Plus, it wasn't you, it was next to you. It was supposed to be the wall. Guess what? It didn't kill you. You're fine.
Yeah, but they aren't.
What the hell is that thing?
Would it be more moral if we beat them to a bloody pulp with our bare hands?
I think the most moral thing was to just go past them. Like,
too
we-
bad.
This whole
We're going
situation
now.
isn't moral. We're literally leaving a city filled with thousands of people to be slaughtered by the endless hordes of hell. Fuck this shit. Let's continue on. We'll have this conversation later.
At that point,
Yeah,
whenever
I think
We're a
Ambrum
little
just
bit
starts
too
having his tirade.
knee-deep in the gore to have a philosophical conversation about whether or not what we're doing is moral. I don't
It is
think a
at this
genocide
point.
gun is gonna make it any worse.
It is at this point that at your, like, basically nipping at your heels, the tip of the demonic invasion begins to pour forth, crossing across these 4 bridges, meeting you at the Starstone Cathedral. There
You
is
know
a
what? Fine,
locked
Morty.
gate, just kind
I'll
of
make it
in
even.
your way.
I'll make it even, and whenever I see the demon horde, getting on our back when we're reaching the gate, I'm going to turn the gun around and I'm just going to use it until it stops working at this point. If demons want to fuck with us, just kill them too.
The screaming, slavering horde of hell-forged swords and armor just coming to bear. You turn this weapon around, and again, that sickening, terrible feeling. And as it comes to a 4, you witness all of these creatures disappearing into etheric essence, vanishing into the air.
How many do you think, looking back, how many did she just wipe out with one blast?
A good 40 to 50.
Holy shit, we should probably get going, like, now.
Get the door open.
Ambrum walks
So,
up
yeah,
and just starts
you guys
shoving.
all-
Ambrum tries to
Go
shove
ahead and
it.
make a strength check for me.
I will do the same.
Yeah.
I'll assist.
Just straight strength?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Aw,
I just
ew.
got a nat 20 on that.
Ew.
Oh boy. I imagine as 2 of the warriors, 3 of these individuals come to try and slam their fists against this door, Roller, who, like, unbeknownst to the others, had taken a stride, crashes like a meteor through the front gate, shattering through wood and reinforced steel. The doors to the Starstone Cathedral cave open. And inside is a simple, dark hallway.
Hey,
Aaron's
Kyra!
my
You should
place.
probably
It's
come
in the
inside!
So you all cross and begin to enter this area?
Kieran's
I
gonna
do.
summon his 3 orbs.
It is very clear that whenever you light this place up, the architecture stretches on, and on, dropping to the...
Part of me would say if I had my portable storage, I would have put down a barrel to blow the hole to collapse this front part, so we wouldn't be bothered. But
Can Ambrum...
I suppose
Do you think Ambrum could collapse... If Ambrum looked at the hole, do you think Ambrum could collapse that bridge that's leading to the entrance with his fucking...
there are 4 bridges leading to the Starstone Cathedral.
To the specific entrance we're at?
Even if that entrance were collapsed, like this bridge were collapsed, there are still 3 other bridges that demons can reach the Starstone Cathedral from.
so it doesn't matter.
It's like, okay, so we're looking for a starstone. What does a starstone look like?
So you all
Yes,
begin to
Tom.
head down.
Probably looks like a rock, and it probably glows. Let's go.
I get the sense it'll be hard to miss.
It's probably
Probably!
gonna be it. Kieran is just gonna go forward and forward and forward.
Didn't you
So,
say there's a massive
lining-
hole in the ground?
Lining the sides of this area are the statues of the same 4 repeating figures that you saw on the side of the cathedral. For those of you that are vaguely familiar with religion, you automatically understand that these are the 4 individuals that passed the test of the Starstone. Norgabur, Caden Galian, Almade, Arid. Sorry, I forgot the first guy's name because he's stupid. That being said, as you venture deeper and deeper beyond, the sounds of warfare outside become... Everything becomes quiet. And that is where we will leave today's session off. Because
Okay.
this dungeon is going to be fun.
Crazy.
We get to end off a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, not technically
In a
Dungeons and
dungeon.
Dragons, in a dungeon.
In
Isn't that
boy.
wonderful?
in a dungeon of Levi's evil, wicked machinations.
So oh god. So like then this when we finish this dungeon, it's going to be all over.
This is the
Basically.
beginning of the end.
I kind of don't want to ask for this, but if it's truly the end, we're still level 19, aren't we?
Perhaps.
I will
There's a
have.
special.
did
There's a
say we
there's
were
a special
Okay.
event saved
You
for
have
when you are level
have
20.
things planned. I just wanted to, bring it up.
There's a special event planned for when you reach level 20.
So next session will be the last session that I'll be on for a month.
Shit. I'll try to hurry my ass up
should
then.
make it count.
Yeah. So if we can next week, if everyone else here is good for it, I am willing to do a long session.
Lord. We can try an early session, maybe.
Oh, I mean,
Start
how
early.
early? Because if you let me know, I will
Whatever's
be up for it.
reasonable. What's
If-
reasonable
if-
for everyone here?
I
Truthfully?
have nothing to do Saturday.
Sunday, you mean?
I'm going
I could
to
wake up at 6 o'clock, get ready at 7, and be started. Right?
Okay.
On
I
Saturday
wouldn't
or
want to.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
It depends on my chores, but I can definitely be on around noon, maybe earlier.
Like,
Mm.
oh god.
I'm gonna be dog sitting Saturday. At the very
Sunday,
least.
but Sunday.
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 You know that day we always do our sessions?
Yeah.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
I'll try to get home as soon as possible from church, but
Okay.
Or you
time
could just
do you
not
have?
go.
Church.
it
Alright.
depends on whether or not we have issues to take care of.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
You
stop
agree.
the recording.